Well, hello there, guys, and welcome to Ultimate General Gettysburg, an awesome game created by Darth, and I believe the name of the company is Game Labs. We're going to go ahead and continue here. One interesting thing that happened this week is version 0.85, which just came out, which is the updated version of the game, and I'm really tempted to see what's going to happen here, how it plays, etc. Now, I am going to take the Union, being from New York, and also being a supporter of the Union anyway, if I had to be back in the Civil War. I think it's going to be a pretty fun group to play. So we're going to go ahead and select them this time. And this time I'm going to make the enemy an opportunist, which I think is on the harder end. I may be wrong. Could also do cunning. But I think maybe opportunist or dynamic. Or maybe how about a determined enemy? I don't know. Let's go with opportunist. We'll go ahead and go to battle. See what happens. I want to see if anything is different. So far, the actual start of the battle seems pretty much the same. We'll go ahead and get started and take a look here. One thing I like is that certainly at Buford here, the actual general symbols do seem to be more pronounced, which is pretty cool. And I think I'm just going to do my usual starting day tactics, which is to keep up everyone up here on McPherson's Ridge, sort of pull back and hold these positions, let the enemy approach us. I mean, I think that tends to work. I'm not sure if it's going to work here. We'll soon find out, guys. So I'm actually going to turn back with these skirmishers right here and start facing the enemy, as well as the vedettes. We can actually have the vedettes sort of flank this way. And try to flank the enemy from the side. Do the same with these guys. Just kind of confuse them a little bit. And we'll go ahead and open up with the skirmishers pretty soon, but I will let the enemy approach. And let's see if there's anything different in the actual order of battle here. I don't think that we'll notice too many differences right away, but hopefully as we keep playing, things will change. Here we go, guys. The Confederates are approaching. Now, all we have is the light infantry brigade here. I'm going to go ahead and open up. Looks like the Confederates are getting pretty close here, and they're definitely doing a pretty good job at pushing our men back. I don't think we have a very good chance with these skirmishers, but we're going to try to hold them off. Is this a charge? It looks like it might be, guys. And actually, it looks like it's definitely a Confederate charge. 3rd Corps is actually moving up to support the charge, which is a little unnerving. So we'll move Buford up as well. And if we have to, we will try to take Oak Ridge and stay there. In fact, I'm going to take Devon's skirmishers over here and make them go over to Oak Ridge. Looks like Davis's state is doing a pretty good job at holding us off. All right, let's go ahead and turn back. If they're not going to go all the way, neither will we. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and switch Gamble over to Davis and just focus my fire entirely on this guy. Remember, he does have the support here of this general, so that's a bit of a pain, but nothing we can really do about it now. He also has the uphill advantage on McPherson's Ridge, which is something that I was really hoping he wouldn't get. Where is our vedettes? Yeah, where are, I should say. Let's go ahead and take our vedettes and try to flank the enemy here. And, in fact, I'll take our vedettes, open up on Archer. I don't think it's going to do too much damage, but it should stun him a bit and get him a little more confused than he already is. Let's go ahead and get the vedettes behind him. It's too bad we can't open up on the actual general units, but we can certainly open up behind the enemy units. And as you can see right now, we are actually firing from all directions on the Confederate infantry. So we will go ahead and turn here, try to face Archer, and start firing onto him. Let's make sure that Caleb is firing shell shot. And actually, I'll have him turn his guns on Davis. Okay, guys, so General Wadsworth Divisions approaches us from the south. This is where Iron Brigade comes from, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and bring him right to this actual Oak Ridge area, and hopefully we can hold this area before the Confederates get to it. I think that shouldn't be much of a problem, but I always worry, obviously, in this first part of the battle here. And we'll bring this brigade, which I believe is Iron Brigade, over here. Now, as you can see, the skirmishers have pulled back a bit. Davis is actually coming down the hill, and I want him down the hill. I'll actually show you guys the elevations here. McPherson's Ridge is a perfect area to be on right now, so we definitely want to get back up there at any cost possible. Let's go ahead and see. Unfortunately, all we have are 2 brigades here, although Iron Brigade should make up for a lot. And as you can see, over here, Archer is taking a lot of damage from this artillery unit, Caleb's artillery unit, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can switch off to canister shot, which would really just increase that amount of damage. And I am running with these guys, although one thing that this new update does is it actually, the condition of the units is a lot more important. And when you lose condition, the actual morale is also affected, so we need to be careful here. Now, Davis hasn't been able to push up thanks to a lot of concentrated fire from our skirmisher units, just kind of harassing them. But sooner or later, Davis is going to push on that ridge. Or excuse me, not on that, yes, on that ridge. I was about to call it a hill, but it is indeed a ridge. What's the difference? If anyone tells me in the comments below, you get a gold star made of tinfoil. All right, let's go ahead and move Iron Brigade up here. I'm actually going to switch him over to walking. I think it's time. Solomon Meredith can probably deal with some walking right now. And as long as we can hold these guys off this area of the map, I will consider it more or less a victory. Let's get Cutler to start running now. Now, he stopped, he actually wasn't running the entire time. He walked the entire way here, so I don't consider him as having taken too much condition damage. He's still at almost 65, almost 70%, excuse me. As you can see, Iron Brigade from running a much shorter distance is down to 56, so that just goes to show you how the condition is definitely playing a role here. And I think that's pretty cool. Let's get Iron over here. Now, in this case, nobody actually has the height advantage between Archer, Gamble Skirmishers, and Iron Brigade, so that's definitely good for us. Unfortunately, it looks like Devlin Skirmishers are running away, and in fact, I'm going to go ahead and let them run away. I want to go ahead and move up here to the ridge and make sure the enemy doesn't take it. But first, let's go ahead and support this area. In fact, we won't do that yet. We'll worry about that later. Davis seems to have turned back, and it's opening up on Iron Brigade now, guys. That's quite a pain in the ass. And he's smart enough to actually have stayed on this ridge, which I think is pretty advanced for the AI to know that. Usually they're more than willing to charge, although now he's definitely going for that good old Confederate charge, and hopefully we can stop it dead in its tracks. Got a fresh volley here for the enemy, and I hope that's sufficient. Let's go ahead and get both our general units here to support our defense. Come on, guys, you could do this. Looks like Iron Brigade is holding Archer off pretty well. Let's go ahead and switch over here with Gambles, and we'll bring the Vedettes as well. Wow, wow, unbelievable. So this Confederate, our infantry is actually doing a pretty damn good job at this charge. Let's see if we could stop it in its tracks. Just try to scare it, scare the bejesus out of the Confederates here, if we can. But wow, I'm very surprised by that. Let's go ahead and bring the skirmishers back a bit, and we should be able to target Davis here. But that was not something I was really looking for. And as you guys can see, despite having a great position up here on the ridge, we were able to get some pretty concentrated fire thanks to our skirmishers and take out a lot of Confederate units. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead, and Iron Brigade is still, wow, still dealing with Archer over here. We will have Gamble skirmishers turn back. I don't want the enemy to take this position over here, 2,500 victory points. So what I think I'm going to have to do is pull Iron Brigade back. Hopefully stop Davis from taking that point, because as you can see right now, they're quite close to actually taking it, despite the fact that they're retreating, which is pretty annoying. Let's go ahead and open up on them here. And I think just the Gamble skirmishers by themselves can probably hold that area. We'll bring down the Vedettes just in case, but I don't think we'll need them. Wow, and there we go. Davis is going for what looks like yet another charge. And now we're actually being closed in. It's a sort of pincer movement, guys. So a definite increase in the amount of AI here, or the ability of the AI to notice what you're about to do. Although it looks like we may be able to hold them off. You can see the guys actually fighting with their bayonets. And Hef has brought his full brigade, guys. That's very scary stuff for us. Means that most of the Confederates are now in battle. Almost the entire Confederate army. We definitely need to hold them. So let's go ahead and try to bring in our Vedettes, provide some cover fire, and make sure that Caleb is still firing off his canister shot at the enemy. Although he may not even be able to. Let's see. Alright, guys. Iron Brigade reform. Wow. We still have some close combat here between the Confederates and our Union soldiers. We're going to go ahead and turn back here, and hopefully... Wow. Unfortunately, Iron Brigade is going to be running. And I want to see what the Confederates have in store for us. Hopefully we can get some reinforcements here, but I wouldn't count on it. Let's go ahead and get these skirmishers back on the ridge again. Okay, Iron Brigade, not good, not good. It looks like they're on a full, gallop retreat, which is actually what I suggested that they do, is make the retreats more realistic, and this is starting to look a lot more realistic, although that might not be so good for us. Okay, guys, it looks like General Robinson's division is coming to reinforce us. If he can get here in time, I'm going to be very happy. As you can see, Davis is on the run, so that's good news. Go ahead and move these guys down here and try to move Caleb in a better position if we can. Alright, let's see if we can get the Iron Brigade in a little bit of a better position. I'll go ahead and bring Buford down here to try to raise that morale a little bit. And let's get the skirmishers just to open up on Archer here. I think a bridge is as good a place as any to open up on the enemy. Although, you know what? getting on top of that hill would be a better idea. Okay, here we go. Now, I saw that hill, and I definitely want to get on top of it. We're going to go ahead and run there, and I will try to get the rest of the men over here at this victory point as soon as possible. But I don't think that Heth's skirmishers are going to be that much of a challenge to our men. Although what might be a challenge is Brockenborough and Pettigrew's division, which are always here on the first day, almost without fail. So what we'll do is get our skirmishers up there and try to at least harass them a bit. And let's make sure Cutler is in the right place here. All right, there we go. So Heths still aren't fully on the run, but they look freaked out enough to pull back pretty soon here. And there we go. You can hear the retreat bugle playing. And the enemy are pulling back. Let's go ahead and move these skirmishers up. We can harass them even more. All right, here we go, guys. Dealing with Pettigrew already. I'm going to go ahead and bring these guys up. I'll bring the vedettes up. I don't know what else I can use them for but to harass the enemy a bit. And let's hope we can make a little bit of a difference here. I actually should have brought Cutler up here, but got a bit lazy. And when I move Cutler up, I can move, let's see, Baxter up there to take his place. Which isn't such a bad idea. Let's go ahead and try to do that. We'll move Iron Brigade over here to deal with Archer's Brigade, who at this point of the battle is usually a lot more damaged. Alright, let's see. Still no artillery for us. Okay, it looks like the rebels are doing another major charge with Pettigrew's Brigade this time. We'll go ahead and just target them with everything we have, really. I don't know if that's going to be effective enough, but we'll try. Looks like they're starting to take up residence there on the hill, as usual. So we'll try to go ahead and flank them with our skirmishers and put some fire down on these guys before they can get a pretty good position. Although they already have that, so that's going to be hard to do. Come on, Iron, reload faster. We need these guys to really fire and get rid of Archer as soon as possible, because we need their help over here to deal with Pettigrew. Well, I guess we could bring Baxter up. Let's try that. Wow, Devlin's, why are you doing that? You're getting too close. So Devlin's actually on the other side there of Pettigrew. You guys can see they've sort of surprised them a bit, and now both units are actually in a bit of close combat, which is not what I wanted at all. Let's go ahead and just try to hold the line over here. We've got Brockenborough, we've got Archer and Heth skirmishers, a lot of people to deal with. So we want to make sure that we hold this position down here too. And 2 divisions should be enough. To deal with just Pettigrew, but I don't know for sure. Let's go ahead and move I Corps up. And I know this is First Corps. I like to call it I Corps. It just sounds cooler. And here we go. Pettigrew on the run, guys. Wow, beautiful. And at this point, we should take the uphill advantage. We'll try to move Cutler up here on top of the hill. That way, if Pettigrew makes any more pushes for McPherson's Ridge, we will be prepared for him. And let's see what's going on down here. Wow, Brockenborough is already dealing with our men. I'm going to go ahead and charge in with Iron Brigade. We will bring Buford down and the vedettes, as well as our skirmishers, to deal with this charge. Although it looks like we're getting overrun by Brockenborough pretty bad. Paul is especially terrified, and the close combat that we're seeing here is not good. We're going to do everything we can for the men in this area. Let's go ahead and do this. Bring our skirmishers up over here, as well as over here. It looks like Cutler, unfortunately, has been pushed back. Probably wasn't such a good idea to get him on top of that ridge, despite the fact that that would have given us a height advantage. I think right now we just need to hold our positions. And look at that. Wow, these guys are still pushing forward. Brockenborough has actually managed to push Paul all the way back to McDonald's farm. And Iron Brigade is also pulling back a bit. So let's go ahead and target Brockenborough with all of these guys. The skirmishers, the vedettes, I think we can just force them kind of off the battlefield. Although that was pretty successful on the part of the Confederates. Looks like Cutler is pulling back here. Unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of our guys are not able to hold on, guys. So we really want this battle to end soon, or we want to get some reinforcements. The current reinforcements we have just aren't getting the job done. Oh, wow. I'm loving this new AI system. It seems like it would be really irritating, but I think it's far more realistic. Before, the brigades would only run like 10 or 20 feet. Now they actually run several hundred feet, which really helps for, another enemy troop to take the position. And I think that's awesome. So more of a challenge for us then. Let's go ahead and get these guys up. The skirmishers are going to have to come to the assistance here of Iron Brigade because it's definitely weakened. As you guys can see, the condition is just pitiful. We want to make sure to push Brockenborough back as well as Archer. Although whether or not that's going to be possible, only time will tell. Looks like Baxter's doing an okay job at holding back Pettigrew. And right now he's almost just cannon fodder because we don't want to let Pettigrew come down this hill and charge either of these positions. So let's go ahead and get Paul into position. We really need Paul at this juncture in the battle to get his act together. And there we go, taking up a position right across from Broken Brew and opening up. That's wonderful. Come on, men. So a lot of actual support here, guys. If we can hold these positions, we should be golden, and I don't see why the men should run at this point. We do have the advantage. Just getting this sort of double line here is very important. Unfortunately, it looks like Paul has pulled back. Iron Brigade has also pulled back. Looks like they're going to retreat, and let's go ahead and move up at least a little bit if we can. Maybe we can move Cutler down here before we're overrun. We'll move Gamble skirmishers into this wooded area too. Alright, it looks like the artillery is back. The artillery is in the house. This is what I'm talking about, and exactly what we need. We want to get these artillery pieces up on top of these high areas as soon as possible. We'll go ahead and bring these guys up here too. And I think Baxter can kind of just stay put for now with Pettigrew. In fact, if we want, we can actually pull him back to Oak Ridge, which I think may not be such a bad idea. We'll bring the skirmishers back as well, and Doubleday's division has come to reinforce us from the south, guys. Now, that is a bit of good news that I am never upset to hear. Although I'm afraid that General Doubleday's division may just be a cavalry division. Although we do have Paul here, he seems to have reformed a bit. Let's move him up, and hopefully he can hold this area for us. Come on. Even Buford's holding his line. Alright, here we go. More infantry for us to play with, and that's exactly what I want. We'll move them up over here. If we can get them here before Pettigrew starts launching his attack with Davis, we should be alright for the day. This is only day one, so no medals for anybody, really. Let's go ahead and get the skirmishers into position again. I don't think Archer should be holding on for much longer, and indeed, he's going to pull right back. We'll get Stevens up here to just deal as much damage as possible to him. In fact, I want to get him up here on top of the road. And it looks like Pettigrew doesn't have any fight left in him. Can't say I blame him. We have a lot of Union dead over here in front of McPherson's Ridge. Just that uphill advantage gave the Confederates a great line of fire down the hill. But as long as we can hold these other areas, Oak Ridge, the rest of them, I'm okay with the enemy holding Chambersburg Pike, which I think we could deal with a lot later in the battle. Looks like Iron Brigade is sort of just going off on their own to deal with archers. And you know what? I don't think I mind, especially if we have an uphill advantage here. And it looks like we do, especially up here on this hill. Although we may come into contact with Broken Brow's brigade, so we need to be a little careful. And let's actually switch over here. At this point, Iron Brigade is coming into contact with Archer. It's probably a good idea to weaken these brigades for the next battle. And there we go, a wonderful volley. Let's see how long they can hold it. I'll let them give the guys one more volley, and then I'll go ahead and fall back. Looks like the enemy's staying put. That's good news for me. Alright, here we go. Iron Brigade's taking some actual iron down from Archer. That's not good. Certainly painful. And there we go. Look at all those Confederates dying, and beautiful, guys. That uphill advantage is what I'm talking about. As you can see, the enemy is pulling back. We can actually probably just hold this position at this point. I'm even tempted to bring Cutler up to try to push Broken Brow off this ridge, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Actually, we'll have Iron Brigade focus here on Archer, but we'll still bring Cutler up. It's a little riskier, but to be honest, the more enemy you kill, the less you have to deal with later in the battle. So I don't see how that could be a bad idea. Of course, the only downside being going up this hill, we could lose a lot of men, too. If we can make Archer run one more time, guys, I'm going to wheel Iron Brigade around. There we go. And have them deal with Broken Brow over here. They'll be a bit surprised to have to deal with all of these men, and they may even run. You guys can see Iron Brigade is taking quite a beating. The morale is lowering very quickly because right now they're coming face to face with a live Confederate regiment of men that are about to fire their muskets. So they may pull back. Don't be surprised if that happens, and it looks like it's about to happen right now. There we go, guys. But thankfully, we also got Broken Brow to run, so that's pretty cool. And I think we'll just keep applying the pressure. We'll move Cutler up and just hold this particular area of the hill. And here we go. It looks like Pettigrew has finally decided to launch his assault. We can bring Paul up here. I'm surprised his morale hasn't increased at all. That's kind of weird, but hopefully that will be fixed. And Bucktail Brigade can go ahead and deal with Pettigrew. I think Pettigrew is not going to be able to deal with all of these Union troops. I may be wrong, but we'll soon find out. And let's see if we can get a general to go ahead and assist here. Oh, what is Cutler doing? Okay, well, apparently he's charging. I don't know why he's charging. Let's have him fall back. That was not good. Here we go, guys. Iron Brigade has to deal with a charging Pettigrew. We'll have Biddle charge on Pettigrew, actually. We're going to have Bucktail Brigade assist in Biddle's charge on Pettigrew. Look at that. Have you ever seen so many Confederates run from battle? I don't think they expected a major Union charge on their right flank there. And it looks like Pettigrew is taking a serious whooping right now, just running from our men in terror. At this point, I am tempted to start firing, and just try to get as many kills as I can on these fleeing enemies. But I think I want to let my guys get into contact here. We'll go ahead and halt with Bucktail Brigade. With everybody else, we're going to keep charging. Biddle is going to get a bunch of Confederate blood on his hands today, I can tell you that. Okay, let's halt right here. We have a pretty good position in the woods. We're also sort of exposed on the farm, but I think this is a good place to stop, and the Confederates certainly didn't expect that. Let's go ahead and see if we can open up on them, and maybe even get Bucktail's Brigade up here. Alright, looks like Biddle's going to pull back. It's okay. He did his job. That's what matters. And let's move Cutler up here. Let's actually get these artillery pieces up on the ridge. I think that'll surprise the hell out of the enemy. Okay, it looks like the battle is about to end, guys. Before it does, I will let you guys take a quick look at the battle. I always like to do this at the end of all of my videos. And like I said, this is my Union campaign in Ultimate General Gettysburg, my updated Union campaign with the new patch. You guys can see that we did manage to hold most of the locations here. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, how you guys think I did. It always helps when you give me advice, etc. I think we did all right. So let's hope that this just good odds for the next day. So as you can see, guys, we do have a minor victory. We didn't manage to secure Hare's Ridge, which I never really do on day one, unless I want to sacrifice a lot of men. And we did lose 1,520 men. The enemy lost 1,725, 1,725. Really not much of a difference when you think about it. It was a pretty even battle. I'm going to go ahead and continue here, and we'll see what's coming up next. So I have to plan my strategy for my next part of the battle, and I think I'm going to... Well, I always withdraw to Seminary Ridge and reinforce Cemetery Hill. I also always ignore Oak Hill and defend the ridges, so I'm going to try defending the ridges north of the town at all costs. We repelled the first rebel attack. We gained valuable time for General Reynolds and the First Corps to arrive and secure Gettysburg, but we are still under pressure and we cannot waste time. Ewell's 2 divisions in Hill are with one more are approaching to join Heth's division in a new mass attack from the west and north. We've got the high ground west of the city, and General Howard with the 6th Corps is already at the southern outskirts of the town marching to our aid. We can hold them again, delay their advance, and give our army the chance to arrive and fortify the cemetery to the south. We can withdraw our forces to the southern ridges, but then we shall have no alternative plan and risk the enemy capturing the cemetery before our main force arrive. Shall we continue the defense here, General? So I'm going to do that, guys. I'm going to hold this defense, this tedious defense, and try to hold it until the main army arrives, which would help us a lot. So I definitely hope you guys will battle. I definitely like the new updates. I think obviously there's a lot more that can be done, but so far, great job from the team over at Game Labs and Darth. Just a great start, and I think there's a lot more work, a lot more that can be done, but certainly great improvement on what was before. So guys, we have this to deal with for the next battle. I hope you'll join me in the defense of McPherson's Ridge. Take care.